My name is Aiden Doherty. I am from Brielle, New Jersey, a small town by the beach. After living in the same area for my entire life, I wanted to take college as an opportunity to get out and see more of the world. After a few months of research and a number of campus visits, Northeastern really stuck to me, and I knew I wanted to apply for early action. At this point, I had heard about the NUN program from previous applicants, but I knew virtually nothing about it. It wasn't until I got admitted that I started doing extensive research about the program. Being from Irish descent, I've always wanted to visit Ireland, and I was thrilled to find out that it was one of the 3 choices provided for my home school. The whole thing felt like a dream. As the summer came to a close, I really started trying to visualize what my experience would be like, and I have to honestly say I did not picture anything like this. When we first landed, I was exhausted more than anything. It was my first time taking an overnight flight, and I didn't exactly get a good amount of sleep on the plane. After landing, the flock of NUN students were herded through customs, and we made our way to the buses. Before we knew it, we were arriving at UCD. After check-in, I headed to the place I would call home for the next 4 months. Belgrove, House 8, Apartment 2. I met my 3 roommates right as I walked in, and it was definitely a strange experience, as I had never really lived with people I'd never met before. Little did I know, within a month, we'd be laughing like a madman in the kitchen and watching movies together on a projector in the common area. Orientation week was interesting. There were so many new faces and names that were introduced to me in such little time. At first it seemed overwhelming, but it didn't take long for me to find a solid group of friends to hang out with. Before I knew it, class had started, and I was officially a college student. Luckily for me, almost all of my friends and roommates had almost all of their classes with me, which created a very useful network of help between me and my peers that really set me up for academic success. Whenever someone was falling behind, which in many cases was myself, we would work together to help them understand the stuff that they were having trouble with. Having a fun group of friends to work alongside gave us all a sense of inclusivity in our academics and also in our social lives. Another huge part of the experience was exploring. Spending time in the city of Dublin was incredible. Everything is more or less similar, but to me it was fascinating to take note of the small differences in culture, language, and the general perception of tourists among the Irish people. Walking around the city, seeing live music at pubs, and taking a bus sound like generally plain experiences, but taking it in with all of my friends felt incredible. We also took trips to places around Ireland. For example, after a few weeks, the ICs took us to County Clare. We got to explore the town of Ennis and, on the last day, see the breathtaking cliffs of Moher. Later in the semester, me and my friends took a weekend trip to Cork. It was a nice city, and on the last day we took a bus to Barney and kissed the Barney Stone. I was also able to walk around Howth and Wicklow when my dad and brother visited halfway through the semester. Another great thing about being in Ireland is that flight prices to other European Union countries are surprisingly cheap. Those same friends and I took a trip to the Netherlands, where we enjoyed giant pancakes, boat tours through the city, and a lot of bikes. Seeing Amsterdam was also an incredible experience because it was the first country I had ever been to speak a different language. Although everyone spoke English fairly well, it still felt as if we were in a different world. Visiting different countries and towns with cultures different from mine really made me think about the world from a different perspective. I began to feel more aware of the existence of other people's experiences and day-to-day lives. The more I saw outside of UCD, the more culturally agile I felt. My experience with NUN is one that many college students don't have the privilege to enjoy. Spending my first college semester in a country over 3,000 miles away, to most of my family and friends it was unheard of. My time in Ireland is time that I value very much. If I hadn't committed to Northeastern and decided to go abroad, my life would be very different. Words cannot describe how glad I am that I chose this path, and I am very excited to see what my future holds at Northeastern and after I graduate.